Today, we will talk about a very fascinating thing and try to understand how exactly life works. If you are live, anyone here, can you try to imagine what is this? Okay, I'll move my cursor. Can you tell what is this written here? Can you imagine? Looks like kind of, I don't know who anyone, any language specialist is here or not. And this looks kind of a language of computer, some zeros and ones. Okay, so I'll just reveal what is this. Oh, that's my name, Gargi, in Japanese. Now, tell me one thing. Till I told that this my name Japanese, we were thinking people who doesn't know Japanese like me as a language. We were thinking that what it could be. So this is like something which we don't understand at all, but it's an information. The information is my name. So what I did, I took this particular, symbols, or rather my name in Japanese, which I don't understand, and asked my computer, well, can you help me with understanding what it is written as? So what the computer with its capability would do is to convert or transcribe this particular name Gargi into the language of the computer, or say we are talking about binary language. I'm not an expert of computer, but I just read in my school days about this binary language, so I just thought I'll put that example. All right, so what my computer will exactly do is it will convert Gargi into the language, or it will transcribe this information, the Japanese information, into binary language, right? And but then if the computer shows me this, then also I don't understand what it is. It seems like many zeros and ones in front of me. So now what the computer will also help with other accessories, machineries inside. What it will do, it will actually bring in some more gadgets in, or I really don't know about computers much. So it will, whatever the machinery is inside, or software, whatever is inside, it will help to translate these zeros and ones in a format which I will understand. So say for example, this particular combination of zeros and one reads as G, then it goes like that. A, this combination reads R, and again G and I, and finally when the computer displays it over the screen, I see it Gargi. So yeah, so that is what I wanted. So from Japanese language, written my name written in Japanese, I wanted to see this in English. So this is a flow of information step by step, right? Our life information is just like this. Let me just tell you more about it. But before that, as I said in the above example, that we had so many helpers, right? I had computers, and inside computer there will be some softwares or hardware, whatever. So they helped, they coordinated and they helped to convert my Japanese, not my Japanese name, well, my name in Japanese to English. So in similar way, we have certain people working for us unknowingly. We don't know. It goes on in the cell. So these are the workers of life. Well, you were already introduced to someone called as DNA, and today I will introduce to you some more people. So if you see that pink color stuff, it's holding this green. This is DNA, as you understand. It looks similar, right? So it pulls apart the two strands of DNA. If you remember, DNA is a double-stranded structure. It's a spiral staircase. We discussed that last time. So what this pink color guy do, he is a muscle man. It comes and pulls apart the two strands of the DNA, and then it one by one it reads, and then it forms a new molecule. This pink color muscle guy is a very special enzyme called as RNA polymerase. So this is another worker, very important. Third is this particular, in this second diagram, what you see is being newly formed is the messenger RNA. This is similar to the one, to the binary number we are talking about. I'll tell you. So another worker is messenger RNA, and the final whom we need to work on is protein. So let me just see how it goes. Okay, so before that, should I repeat once more? So the workers of life are DNA, polymerase, RNA polymerase, mRNA or messenger RNA, and protein. Okay, so we have all these people in our life to work for us, to keep us in movement, and keep us living. All right. So if you remember, I told last time that if we imagine DNA as a book and compare it with English book, then we have alphabets as in English, but we have 4 alphabets only in DNA language. So another important thing that today I will tell you is that in English word, like in English language, we can form words which can be of any length, right? Like for example, here I have written cat, bird, genetics. So this is 3 word, bird is four letters, genetics is 5 letters. But in DNA language, there will be only 3-letter word because you have 4 alphabets, and obviously they can combine in 3 combination permutation. Now this is the way always would be a DNA language be read as. So this particular combination of 3 letters is what you might have heard in some science fiction movies as code, as genetic code or codon. More specifically, we tell that. So going to the next part. Okay, once more we have the same slide. So now I will correlate with the same example and see how it matches with the workers of life. So my name written in Japanese is basically the DNA molecule. So you have certain secret messages which the cell does not understand at all when it is in the form of DNA. So now who comes in? The very important muscular man or enzyme RNA polymerase comes, and this guy basically transcribes in a more readable format, the code of the DNA, just like the binary language. When I put that Japanese thing into a particular software, so which would give me a which would transform these Japanese words into those words or numbers which the computer understands. So that's binary language. And in fact, so similarly, the RNA polymerase would be that software in life, in our cell, which will help to transcribe or decode whatever information is there in the DNA, and it will form something called as messenger RNA. I will just tell you that if you notice, messenger RNA is just like a single string. It's just like a single string. It is not double-stranded like DNA. That's the difference. Okay. So now this messenger RNA, if you remember in the binary language, what was happening? If this is the underlined portion, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 combination numbers that it was understanding, and it was giving for 801 combinations. It was giving a particular letter. For example, for this combination we had G, right? So in messenger RNA also you have the same interplay of these alphabets, chemical letters, these A, U, G, C. Well, here one difference is that in messenger RNA, T, that is thymine in the DNA, is read as U, uracil in the messenger RNA. That's the only difference. And messenger RNA is single-stranded. That is another difference from DNA, because you have to come to simpler protocol to move on. Now, from this, as we got particularly decoded from the binary language, and we got all this stuff, all the letters that were required to form my final name. Similarly, the three-letter word, that other enzymes and other machinery also works here. They help to read and finally translate the codon, or the three-letter word in the messenger RNA to a particular amino acid. Well, when I talk about protein, amino acid is a building block of protein. So what you get, the final product, is protein. And the ball-like things that you see is just a denotation of different types of amino acids. We have 20 types. Now, I mean, primarily we have 20 types, but yes, we also have information about 22 types. But okay, we'll keep it as 20. And again, they can combine. For each codon, we have one amino acid. So this is how we get a protein, when one by one amino acids, according to the code that is there in the messenger RNA with other helper enzymes and proteins, other factors which I have not told here. So this is the information that a cell understands is protein. Protein means everything. It forms the entire life, all right. Protein helps to make up the cell membranes, enzymes, anything that you can think of. We are basically formed of proteins, all right. There are other things too, but yes, I must stress on proteins. So, to summarize, we have a DNA with a secret message where the enzyme polymerase, RNA polymerase trans RNA or messenger RNA, and with other proteins and enzymes and other chemical reactions, what we get is protein. Well, this is the simple, not so simple though, but simple flow of information in life. And to be very scientific, in terms of molecular biology, we call this as central dogma of life. DNA to RNA to protein. We will never forget this. And this is what happens every time when anything, all the complex things that we see, all the complexities that you see around you, the variations you see around you, is the backbone, I mean not the backbone, but the message behind this, or the flow of information that happens behind all the critical life processes, is just DNA to RNA to protein, central dogma of life. So I know, I'm sure you will well agree to me that life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. That is a very, very correct thing which was told by Confucius. Well, thank you so much for being with me, and that was all for today. And I know it was a short session, but I hope you have got some insight about the flow of life, and this is how life works. So don't forget the workers of life, don't forget the flow of information, and don't forget about central dogma of life, and please remember to keep life simple. All right, so thank you so much. Stay safe and take care.